Good morning, everyone. We are excited for you to be joining us today. We've had a lot of demand and excitement about a new product release that we're going to be announcing to you today. We're going to be talking about an exclusive lead set that is brand new to our industry. And we're talking a little bit today about the drastic rise in household delinquency, right? And what it means for our business. Now, we saw a slowdown in the economy, right? Every economy, every market presents huge opportunities for us as real estate agents and real estate professionals. So let's dive right into it. I don't see a huge financial crisis like in 2008, but the Federal Reserve's been fighting out higher interest rates. That's impacted our industry. But here's a couple of other quick stats. Bloomberg said this: 43% of small businesses were unable to pay their rent in full in April due to economic headwinds. So again, some turbulence, some headwinds happening. A few other stats for you. The percentage of credit card balances are in serious delinquency. What we mean by that is the last 90 days or more late on credit card payments. Climbed to its highest level since 2012. And now we're seeing some trends that are taking us back to 2012. U.S. credit card delinquency rates were the highest on record in the fourth quarter of 2023.
It's like a domino effect. It starts usually with credit card debt and then it goes to the larger ones.
We're seeing a lot of delinquencies right now in the car repo industry. And then we have Ken Griffin, CEO at the Citadel, just saying a default cycle is going to happen again. Listen, it's going to happen throughout our life. Typically a recession every 7, 8, 9 years. We've been long and we're due for something. One other one, S&P Global Ratings. The percentage of companies that have defaulted on their debt more than once has reached its second highest level since 2008. So again, some things happening specifically over the last 3 to 6 months. Because we've been seeing these things, what I've been trying to watch at Landvoice is many of you are subscribed to Landvoice and you have all of our pre-foreclosure data. The problem is since 2013, we haven't seen a lot of pre-foreclosure data. The numbers just aren't there. In fact, across the country, we're only seeing about 93K, 95K pre-foreclosures across the entire country. There's just not a lot of foreclosures happening. As we've been watching all of these other trends with credit card debt and car repos and businesses defaulting on loans, I just had this tendency to think there's got to be some other stress. And so we started looking at some other key indicators. And what that was homeowners who were actually missing their payments. And as many of you understand the pre-foreclosure process, typically a homeowner will miss a payment, sometimes 2 or 3, sometimes even 4, before the bank has to begin the foreclosure process. In order to begin the foreclosure process, they file a notice of default or a lis pendens in their county, depending on whether you're in a judicial or non-judicial state. And that's when we at Landvoice begin working with pre-foreclosure data so you can work with the owner, list the home, and get it sold before it goes to auction. What we want to release and launch to you today is not pre-foreclosures. We have the NODs, we have the lis pendens, we have the notice of trustee sale, the notice of foreclosure sale. We have that data already for you, and that's been great data, but there just hasn't been a lot of it. And so what we want to introduce you to today is something we're going to call distress data. And this is homeowners that are missing payments or are in some type of financial distress. And because of that distress, these are people that are next on the forefront of foreclosure. Now, let me give you the stats real quick. We see about 93 to 95,000 pre-foreclosures the last few months each month. When it comes to distress, what we're seeing is about 1.3 million homes that are missing payments or in some type of financial duress right now. What does that mean for you? Now that Landvoice has that data, this is an opportunity for you as a real estate agent to get ahead of the curve. Instead of working with people that are in pre-foreclosure, you can start developing relationships with individuals, homeowners that are in some type of stress, that have a lot of equity in their home and can now be in a position where they may need to list their home and sell it. And so we want to talk to you about that today. And this is a little bit of how it works, Christoph. The distress data comes in, you log into landvoice.com every morning, and this is what the data looks like. Now, what we're going to do is show you the temperature gauge of how much stress or duress, financial duress, these homeowners may be in. And so you're going to see, like that arrow right there shows, Christoph,
Right?
basically 1, 2, 3, and 4 bars of stress. That first bar, not a lot of stress. Somebody might have missed a payment, or they maybe have lost a job, or their things are just tight with inflation and other things, which in this example, Christoph, we're seeing 3 bars lit up. But in the very top one there that you just pointed to, that's just 1 bar. These are homeowners that, again, just have a little bit of credit card debt, might have missed a payment. They're not in a ton of stress yet. The ones we really like, now these are people that you should be in front of, you should be mailing to, you should be calling and contacting just to establish a relationship. And then my preference is we've been testing this data with very productive, high GCI types of teams, is that second and third bar of stress is really where the sweet spot is right now. These are people that are stressed, that are a little bit worried. The banks may be sending notices now. They're calling, they're saying we're going to begin foreclosure. And these are people that really should start thinking about selling their home, protecting their equity, saving their credit, right? And getting these homes listed This is the exciting piece that I really love. And then the third example, just below your arrow, this is literally banks that are basically at their wits' end saying, hey, at this point, they're really close to foreclosure. Like the bank now has to file an NOD or a lis pendant, or the bank has to be working on maybe like a loan modification with the homeowner. That could happen as well, right? There's a lot of banks out there working with the homeowner, but it really presents an opportunity for you as a realtor to reach out to these homeowners and find an opportunity to build a relationship and just find out what their interest level is on selling their home. As you point to the other arrow to the right, this is where Landvoice really specializes in helping you find the owner's contact information, phone number, scrubbed against the DNC. Be sure and honor the DNC. If it shows DNC, there is a number to the right there highlighted in green, just further by that arrow. That's not on the DNC. That would be fair game for you to reach out to, right? And so you're going to get a lot of information on each property, the address, the information. You have the capability to leave a note or a tag in the Landvoice platform as well. But this is the example of distressed data. You're going to be able to look it up on Zillow or on Google Maps with a hyperlink to each property as well. That's just above there, Christoph. And so again, a lot of really good opportunities, but we think this is the next best way for you to get ahead of our economy and get in front of homeowners and list those homes before they enter the foreclosure process. It's happening all across the country. Inflation is paying huge toll on homeowners right now, and people just trying to stay ahead of all of the bills that are coming their way. And this is where we're seeing a lot of these flags with people in stress that are missing payments. And we've got basically an update for every county as well as every zip code across the country in the area you're interested in. And then have one of our account executives reach out to you and tell you the exact number of distressed homes in specific zip codes in your area. So a couple of things. As we've tested distress data, we've had quite a few teams and high-level real estate agents calling this data. And we found that if you call them and tell them that they've missed a couple of payments, it's a very ineffective way to build a relationship. Think about the stress these homeowners are dealing with right now. They just can't keep up with all the bills that are hitting them, whether it's medical bills or they're going through a divorce or it's just credit card bills mounting up. You as a realtor or as a professional in the real estate business, call them and tell them they're missing a couple of payments. It's just going to build a wall between you and that homeowner. We want to build rapport. We want to stay within rapport. And so we highly recommend that if you were to subscribe and pay for this data and start calling or reaching out to these homeowners, that you don't do it the old way, which is, I saw that you're heading towards foreclosure. I help people just like you. It's really bad. There is an argument for it at some point if you followed up with them 2 or 3 or 4 times and they're just not leaning into it. But we recommend staying away from that right now. So let's show them a couple of examples of how to reach out to people that are in distress. Christoph, this is what we're finding to be the most effective. I'm calling everyone in your neighborhood right now because home prices are up. If you were offered the right price for your home, would you be willing to sell? This is a much softer approach to reaching out to these homeowners and digging a little bit deeper to finding out their timing and if they've ever considered selling, build the relationship, build the rapport so that we can list these homes. Here's another way, and I hope you're taking a screenshot of this. I know your house isn't for sale right now, but have you ever thought about selling? I love this approach. First off, if I'm calling people like this, hi, this is Sean Farr with ABC Realty, and I just listed a home in your area, or I just sold a home in your area that sold in 3 days, 5 days, 15 days, 45 days. And I'm just reaching out because I was curious if you've ever thought about selling yourself. And I'm curious what your timing might be, right? These are the soft ways to approach a homeowner and build the relationship. Now, some of you are using really good CRMs, high-powered CRMs. You can actually send market reports and market updates on what their home is worth by calling and establishing a relationship and asking them, do you mind if I just send you a monthly email showing you the price of your home and getting them in our database? This is the perfect type of data to build rapport, build the relationship, set up a market report where every month we're touching them. This isn't like a FISBON expired. They don't necessarily need to list their home today, but chances are they are going to need to list in the next 30, 60, 90 days. And if we can get them on some type of nurture plan, if we can build a relationship, if our name is top of mind with them, the opportunity to list a lot of homes over the next 30, 60, 90, and even 180 days is huge. But it's the relationship, it's rapport, and then it's the follow-up. And that's what's going to be key to this type of data, which is we're calling distress. We're getting ahead of the game. We're calling homeowners that no one else is reaching out to. And at Landvoice, when we introduce this distress data, we're keeping exclusive to you for that month so that nobody else is contacting or reaching out to these homeowners.
Let's talk about the details. What does the data include? What is it like? The best data is if it's targeted, right? So what we do is we target it by zip code. You don't want to just say, I want all the data for my state, right? That is not very targeting, and give you all the contact information completely scrubbed and filtered and exclusively for you with 500 distressed records. If we find less than 500, then we're going to look into other zip codes as well. Once you have exclusive data, in other words, you own the data in your zip code, you know that you have no competition.
This distressed is a brand new product that'll show up on the left side bar when you're logged into Landvoice, and it's going to be completely separate from your pre-foreclosure data. So the bar won't show up until you've subscribed and you have access to this distressed data. Keep in mind that this distressed data changes every day. Some people who are missing payments or are in distress might catch up and they'll fall off that list the next month. And so we recommend that every month you're updating that list to find the next people who are continually even in more distress, some new ones that are popping on, some old ones that are leaving that list as well. Our mission at Landvoice is to make this data as affordable as possible. We have hard costs here, but these homes that are in distress, what we're offering is to individuals who don't currently subscribe to Landvoice, we can get you these 500 contacts, homeowners that are in distress for $1,250. It is a one-time file. We can update that each month though for you as well at that same price. And we're going to get you the better contact information with those phone numbers. Now, if you are a Landvoice user, you have our FSBOs, you have our expired, you have our pre-foreclosures, you have any of those, we're going to do it for $1,000. So it's going to be half the price of what anyone else is out there doing it for. And we believe this is the next sweet spot. And you're really good at the follow-up because it's going to take more than one call. It's going to take a nurture campaign and follow-up to reach out to these 500 homeowners and keep working with them. This is the list for you that's absolutely going to help you crush it this summer and make a huge impact on your business. How do you get access to it? We'll go ahead and scan this QR code. That's going to take you to our website, landvoice.com/distressed. On that page, if you scroll down, it's going to ask you for your name, your email, your phone, and which counties you're interested in. Then what's going to happen is that's going to go to our account executives. They're going to look up your counties in your areas, and they're going to have a call with you to say which zip codes are a priority for you. And they can give you a count for each zip code on how many distressed we have in those specific zip codes. And then we're going to get 2, 3, 5, 10 zip codes to get you those homeowners that are in distress. Again, 1.3 million last month were in distress compared to only about 9,000 that are in foreclosure right now. So thanks so much for joining, and watch for new announcements that are coming shortly. Talk to everybody soon.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.